Yo. It's week 20.
Big 2-0.
The large double decade.
We're almost able to legally buy beer.
Almost.
You happy?
Almost, man.
Yeah. I remember when that used to be a big deal.
Right, when that shit used to matter. That and being able to get into the club.
Yeah.
And then you realize that you don't really care about the club that much.
Honest to God, I get the same feeling that I had when I turned 21 if I find $1 in my pocket that I forgot.
Facts.
Yeah, that's...
I
feel ancient.
Alright, nigga, I'll house party and kick back me a nigga to death. I'll do that shit any day. Club never really hit me like that, man.
No.
I guess it's because
I just don't like people. I don't like people.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I just had friends that were doing shit. that was why.
Yeah. It's very difficult to get into, especially when you don't like the music.
Yeah.
People smell. They can shower before they come out, but then it's like they're out there actually dancing
hard as fuck,
and then they fucking start smelling. I don't mind going to outside raves, but as far as going to a club with a fucking inside building, I just buy a drink and I'll just stand there.
Yeah, just hang out outside.
Yeah, it's you're not on the wall because you're nervous. You're on the wall because you just don't want to be here.
Yeah, I'd rather be doing other shit.
Yeah, I mean it's Netflix is at home, PlayStation is at home,
AC's at home.
Not as many people. Sure, there aren't as many asses shaking in my living room.
Still,
but,
man.
Porn. Nothing the Pornhub can't fix.
Porn is free.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Ooh. There it is. Alright. We're back.
So, it's another week where another innocent black person has been killed in the comfort of their home.
At least they're making it convenient. The killings are coming to us now.
Yeah,
isn't that great? It's like fucking dope. Papa John's.
That's fucking dope, man.
Yeah, man. We don't even have to go out to get it no more. They said, well, fine. If you don't want us shooting you in the traffic stop, we'll just go out to you. That's what my tax paying money is for. I pay taxes. If I'm gonna get murdered, I want it to be inside my house.
Shit comes faster than Amazon, man.
Oh my God, free 1-day shipping on fucking death. It's amazing. And we don't mean to make light of it. We're just fucking poking fun at the scenario, the situation here.
And the people that refuse to believe that it's an issue.
Yeah, it's a fucking issue.
So
let me make sure I don't mispronounce the young lady's name.
They just call her Tay.
Yeah, they just call her Tay. Yeah.
Her full name is Tashiana.
So unless you've been actually living under a rock, you would know that the situation is this. A neighbor sees her door open. And so some may say foolishly, some may say this is a perfect microcosm example of why people don't necessarily trust the police. But he calls and says he'd like a house check because his neighbor's door is open and he doesn't see her. So, okay. Don't know why he didn't just take a peek inside, but whatever. Maybe it's not his, I guess it's not his responsibility, fine. He calls a cop to come and check it out. This was a house call. A police officer pulls up to the house, walks around the outside, points a flashlight through a window into the kitchen where he sees the woman. According to the video, he says, "Let me see your hands." He says, I don't know what the fuck he's gonna claim that he sees, and he's gonna be brought up on murder charges, I think.
Yeah, they already said that that's the charge.
Yeah, so it's, and I'll give my opinion on that in a second, but yeah, he just goes and straight up shoots her to death with her nephew, by the way, in the other room. The real thing, here's the real kicker for me. When the story broke, I was like, God damn, that's fucked up. And not even like 15 or 20 minutes later, there was another article out that said there was a gun found in the house. It's like, well, yeah, no shit, because she has to be worried about people going through her fucking window shooting her.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm like, here's my biggest things with the whole fucking scenario. So, for one, as opposed to knocking on the door or going in the house with just your flashlight on, you approach the house with your gun drawn and your flashlight out. Yep. That's number one. Number two, you said get your hands up and immediately started shooting. Yep. Like you didn't even give her a chance to not comply. That's the second thing. Number three, even if there was a gun in the house, firstly, it's America. We can do that.
Yeah.
Like, y'all love trying to defend that Second Amendment until it doesn't suit a narrative.
Exactly.
So, that's number one. Number two of that is she was in Texas. Texas, that's an open carry state. If it's in her house, yeah, like if it's in her house, it doesn't fucking matter if she was holding it, if it was in a cabinet, if it was underneath the TV, it don't fucking matter, man. Texas is an open carry state in public, which means I can go outside to my house to the county fair with multiple guns on my person and not break any type of laws.
Exactly.
So that's four.
Right. Yeah.
The fifth one is in the Geiger case, which was 2 fucking weeks ago.
Yeah.
Y'all tried to look up, or y'all tried to see if you could use the castle defense rule, where she's in her house, she could shoot anybody that comes in her house that's criminal trespassing.
Yeah.
But in this case, when the woman actually was in her house, y'all, it's like, oh, well, she had a gun. Who the fuck cares, nigga? I have a gun.
Yeah.
Like
she better have a gun. She's in her own fucking house.
That's what I'm saying.
So she can't have a fucking gun in her house?
Like,
she can't have her front door open for whatever reason she wants to?
Like, y'all are just getting less and less.
They're becoming more and more desperate.
Yeah, like,
is what it is, because they're running out of excuses.
Because I'm like, there's no reason now. Like I've always said to mine, dude, if anybody comes to my house unannounced, you ain't coming back out that bitch. Like that's just how it is. Like nobody, like my own family knows. Either call me before you get here or I'll tell you when you can come.
Yeah.
Like, because I know for a fact that, like, I don't just let people in my fucking house.
Exactly.
So, like, ain't nobody got no business being in my house. All my doors are locked.
Yeah.
All my cameras are on.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, nigga, there's no reason for anybody to be in this fucking house.
And that's really the sad part about this. That's really this last month. We have 2 cases where people were shot to death by an officer in their home.
In their home.
In their fucking house. We were joking about that a little earlier, where we was like, fucking now the deaths are coming to you. It's not really a joke anymore. Yeah. It's like, now it's, and, y'all already know my fucking feelings about the Geiger thing. Like how they're blowing smoke up her ass. I hope she gets fucking shanked in fucking prison. As far as I'm concerned, you don't have to co-sign on that. But that's just my fucking opinion. She fucking does not deserve forgiveness. She does not forgive.
Nope.
She does not deserve any sort of mercy. She has used her she abused her privilege as an officer and wound up getting away with it. As far as I'm concerned, she got away with it.
Yeah, 5 in probation ain't shit, man.
Yeah, so it's not like, this isn't right. Okay, so now think about the narrative that this is setting up to people who are gonna try and defend them blindly and foolishly. Now you're gonna try and argue that a person should not be able to leave their door open. You're going to argue that people shouldn't be able to keep a gun in their house.
It's her fucking house.
Exactly. You're going to try and argue that they should fucking, now when they're in their house and a police officer is clearly overstepping his boundary.
Yeah.
that you have to still comply. You're arguing for basically the police state that you motherfuckers have been arguing that was your gun was supposed to be resisting for. Police state for thee, but not for me, is basically what that boils down to, and it's ridiculous. At this point, you can have your door closed and an officer come in and shoot you to death. You can have your door open and an officer can come in and shoot you to death. This is fucking, like, I don't know what else. Where else you're gonna run from this? This shit is a problem. Period.
And like one of my main things is, if as your neighbor, like if I came home one day and saw that my next door neighbor's house or her door was open, the first thing that I'm gonna do is knock. I'm gonna call for her a couple of times. Then my first instinct would be to call her family. Not even the police, because like she's not even black.
Yeah.
Like, so I would call somebody that, you know, she knows. And then once they got over there, we can both go in, or they can go in however they want to handle that shit, and they can do a welfare check. But the sheriffs, because it wasn't the police again, it was the sheriffs this time, so which is basically the police out in the country.
Right.
But they have a procedure they have to follow. It's called OODA. I forgot what the second O was. That's why I had to look it up.
Yeah.
But it's Observe, Orient, Decide, Act. My parents told me about it a long time ago, how they were trained, because my father was a sheriff. But that's basically the flow that you're supposed to, you know, follow.
Yeah.
If you see some shit, you know, assess the situation, decide on a plan of action, then act. This man went straight for act.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They also train the sheriff that you're supposed to, like, if you have to shoot somebody, you're supposed to aim for the chest or the head. Like, there's no disabling a perpetrator, or, you know, aim for the hand, something to disable, and all, like, you shoot to kill.
Yeah.
And granted, you know, shit out there can get pretty wild. That's fair. But a lot of those motherfuckers are trigger happy, man.
But the problem is that, like, look at these situations that we're dealing with here. These guys are jumping straight to action and killing in the most stupid situations possible.
Right, and like the first one with Geiger is like, oh, I thought it was my apartment. No, you didn't, bitch. No, you didn't.
No, her fucking thing was such bullshit.
And this one is like, I mean, you're moving like a criminal, bro. Like, if it's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I see flashlights at my house, you wouldn't have got the chance to come to my house and shoot me, bro. Them bitches would have been flying through the window.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what if she actually shot him?
Exactly.
Like, oh my god, they'd be trying to say that she needs to go under.
Put her under the motherfucking jail.
Fucking like, and you think the judge is gonna come down there and give her a fucking hug
Hell
and all
no.
this other shit?
Hell no, man.
Ain't about to do that. And by the way, the judge was on fucking like MSNBC talking about, I understand that this was a controversial thing, but I stand by my decision. I was doing this. Bitch, you are the problem.
Yeah,
you should lose your fucking job.
Like, you gave her a light ass sentence, man. It's folks for non-violent crimes doing longer time.
For holding weed, though.
Yeah.
Like if they have a few ounces of weed, they could be put in jail.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing like when a white dude rapes somebody, man. Like, you serve less time than somebody that was out here selling drugs, or somebody out here that's got, you know, multiple traffic violations.
Yeah.
Like, the heinous crimes, if you're the right complexion, will get you less times than lesser crimes. And it's dumb. Like, that shit is fucking crazy.
And, but people don't want to say that there's a problem. That's what really kills me.
This is where not seeing color gets you, man.
Yeah,
that's exactly where not seeing color gets you.
Yeah, that's why that was a stupid ass idea. We're all bleed red on the inside. Yeah, a lot of black folks have been bleeding red lately.
Fucking, and it's just, I knew it was gonna happen as soon as I saw her name, bro. Like, I was like, Atashiana murdered in her house during a welfare check. So I'm just waiting on y'all to pull some type of criminal record, which she doesn't have.
Yeah.
Like, she's, you know, regular ass woman. She was going to school.
She was just
playing video games with her nephew.
Business, just playing games with her fucking nephew.
and murdered.
And just murdered in her own fucking. I hope. Oh man, God. It's crazy. It just irritates and angers you so much.
And my theory, which I hope stays a theory, but it's probably not, is that a lot of these shits are being done out of spite. Because when Geiger got convicted, Josh Brown, the dude that took the stand,
we never talked about this.
He was found murdered, shot in the mouth.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nigga, if you know anything about, mafia operations or mob operations, you have to send a message. You can't just straight up, go out there and murder some fucking body. Mm-hmm. It's gotta be dramatic.
Yeah.
And you shot him in the mouth because he told on the stand. In the streets, they call that shit conspiracy.
Yeah.
So like, if somebody does something, the whole operation gotta go down.
Yeah.
So essentially, like, now the shit's being done, I feel like, to send a message. Because the same thing happened in 2008 when Obama got elected. Oscar Grant. He got shot while he was handcuffed. And that basically kind of started a string of shit. Because then you had Trayvon, you had Mike Brown, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Philando Castile, like all of this shit that was just going down. And it felt more, it really just felt more reactive to me than anything.
Yeah.
Because 2 weeks after Geiger got convicted, you have 2 more murders of 2 people of the same race in the same area.
Yeah.
On accident.
Oh.
And then the story, like,
whoopsie.
Right, like the story that killed me about fucking Josh Brown.
Yeah.
Was that they said some niggas from
out of town niggas
were bringing in weed
or like THC capsules or whatever the fuck for like vapes.
And I'm like, bruh, ain't nobody finna drive 5 hours. Bruh, it takes 9 hours to drive from each end of Texas.
Yes.
And you trying to say that these folks, I think they said they were like coming from Florida or Tennessee, somewhere over here on the coast.
Yeah.
And they were saying that they were coming to Dallas to buy or make weed transactions, bro.
With this guy, because he's basically the Tony Montana of THC vape.
I'm like, he's the fucking kingpin. Y'all never launched an investigation before last week? Or before the week after that case happened, y'all never launched an investigation. If you knew, if he got people coming 5 hours for some fucking weed, in the South, that man has an operation that is probably coastal or nationwide.
That's what I'm saying. He's like Frank Lucas, apparently. They just murdered Frank Lucas.
And y'all should have stopped it a long time ago.
My God, and like the fucking sheriff fucking goes on, or the police chief or whatever, goes on the TV talking about announcing that Josh Brown had been murdered by the guys, like, right? And he throws in on the other end, at the tail end of it, like people have been coming up with rumors and things and trying to disparage our department, and that was not right. Well, first of all, sir, you disparaged your department when you hired Amber Geiger.
Yeah, I was like, ain't no rumors, bitch.
You did more damage by hiring that bitch than anything about this. Secondly, your story does not exactly sound legit. This is Epstein all over again.
Right.
Breaking 4 places in his neck with a fucking 2-foot bed. You know what I mean?
With a 2-foot bed under suicide watch.
Under suicide watch with no fucking rope, no fucking nothing. He hung himself with a plastic bed sheet or some shit. Or maybe he just his fucking like shirt. Because I know he doesn't have shoestrings because they don't let you have shoestrings in prison.
Nope.
So, yeah. No, this is the world we're living in. Isn't this crazy?
Yeah, man.
This is the world we're fucking living in.
Like where you
can't even feel safe in your own fucking house. This guy called the police for help and she wound up getting killed.
Yeah. Like,
Side note.
I feel safe, nigga. Anybody come to my house, anybody, I'm shooting police or not.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Just shoot. If you have to shoot, you got to shoot if it's a cop now.
Yeah.
Like, this set up a precedent that we got to shoot when the cop is coming by unannounced and peeking in our window with a fucking flashlight. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, this is absolutely nuts.
It is.
Side note, if my door is open, you mind your business.
That's what I'm saying. If my door is open, clearly I want it open.
Yes. You don't have to fucking call no fucking cop to check on my fucking house. Mind your damn business. Right. If my door is open and I'm not home, fuck it. Let them take the shit. I got a house insurance. I got rental insurance for a reason. Because
for the most part, with us, like, we know our neighbors, man. Like, if we see shit weird at their house, we'll let them know.
Word.
Or if they don't already know. But I'm like, in this, over here, if people leave their doors open, it's because they want them left open.
Yeah.
Like, we know when somebody wants their shit left open, because over here, bro, these doors stay closed for the most part.
Oh yeah.
Unless it's like it's getting cold now, so sometimes we'll open the door and let the house air out.
Yeah.
But I can't even blame her neighbor for real. Because
I'm not saying it out of blame.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, as far as I'm concerned, because this needs to be said,
right.
I guess. But it's like, he did what any citizen is supposed to do.
Yeah, like I would assume in this case, like, hey, her door normally is closed around this time. So if it's open, something might be going down. Hell, me, I just pull up.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just pull up, man. Like, because I wouldn't call the police and have this shit happen to somebody else.
And that's what's funny, because, like, actually, I was thinking about that while you were saying that, because I actually had that same situation at my apartment, because I was on the top floor, and I was good friends with one of the neighbors on the bottom floor. And one day, I'm going downstairs to take out the trash, and fucking, I see the doors, like, cracked open. And I see the fucking windows, like, fucking open. I know for a fact they keep the door closed. So, I just knock on the door. It's like, anybody home? And lo and behold, the wife comes from the back and it's like, oh, I forgot to close and lock the door.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Situation resolved.
It's just checking, making sure everything's okay. Yep. That's literally all you got to do.
And I'm like, if she's in an apartment, and I'm like, 9 times out of 10 in an apartment, the kitchen is in full view of the front door.
Right.
Like, I don't.
Well, at least in the house.
Was she in the house?
Yeah, she was in the house. He pulls up through her carport and is peeking the flashlight through her fucking window. Like, if you actually look at the police cam video, you can actually see her face. And of course, they cut it off right before the shooting. And like, I think he was like screaming, "Let me see your hands!"
Yeah.
And then the fucking video cuts off.
Said it once.
In your fucking house, I got it. No, nigga, you come around the front and you fucking talk like a human being.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like I said, if I'm up at like 1:30 in the morning and I'm walking around my house and I see a flashlight, I ain't even trying to figure out who it is, bro. You getting shot.
Yeah, like,
don't come around here trying to like play no fucking pranks with that shit, because you will end up dead.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this is just the tragic part about it. It's like, and I guess in a way, in a sickening way, this is kind of like almost like it had to happen. Like, you did everything by the book. Right? You can't say that the guy who got pulled over wasn't complying with fucking officers' things because the officer had a gun and he kept his hands on the steering wheel. And because I saw a video about that earlier this week too. An officer pulls some guy over in a car lot in like a gas station. And has his gun pointed at the guy on the inside of the car. And like the guy is recording him. And like the officer just out of nowhere screams, "Gun, gun!" And the dude was like, "What do you mean? I ain't got no gun." He was like, "Get out of the car, turn off the car." And he's like, "No, I ain't putting down my hands because you're gonna shoot me." The guy in the car just held his hands up, like the whole time. And the officer was pointing the gun at him the whole time. He was like, "I want you to get out of the car." He's like, "You need to turn off my car for me because I'm not putting my hands down. You're gonna try and shoot me because you already lied about me having the gun."
Yep.
And really, like, disobeying an officer's order, sure. Making sure that the officer has no excuse to shoot you, I think is a little more important.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what I call civil disobedience, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
So, rest in peace. Hopefully we get some justice this time around. He has one less privilege. He has police privilege and white privilege, but he doesn't have pussy privilege.
He doesn't have pussy privilege.
So, and we're still working on big dick privilege. But this guy probably has some small like little noodle anyway, so little candy corn between his legs.
That bitch made.
Yeah, it's a sad situation all around. He's already quit the police department.
Of course he has.
He already said he ain't complying with certain orders. I read that earlier, but I can't remember. I get it mixed up sometimes. If it's in him or fucking Trump's cabinet not complying.
Yeah, that was. I know for sure it was Trump that time. Because I was like, it don't matter if you don't want to comply, nigga. Like they gonna proceed with their fucking. Could you fucking imagine just you're driving, you're speeding, right?
Right.
And you get pulled over.
Yeah.
And the officer says license and registration, and you say, yeah, I'm not gonna comply with that. Or you just in school wilding out, and the teacher says go to the office, and I'm not gonna comply.
No thanks.
Like nigga, it don't matter what you don't want to do. You finna get the fuck up out that bitch.
Yeah, no, they're just like fuck it, we're not going.
Yeah,
they send them the letter. They're like, we need you over here at this time. They're just like, no.
Nah. Okay, well, cool.
Signed by Donald.
Send them taxes, nigga, because we got you. We need that.
The court ordered now.
We need everything.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like it was actually funny because I was thinking about this last night. Like, I don't know what fucking powers the Congress or people have, but apparently it ain't nothing too threatening as far as this, because motherfuckers have just been telling them no when they ask them to come up for fucking questioning. Like, very few people have actually complied.
It's like, nah, I mean,
it's like, okay, well, what are you gonna do about it? No, we can't do nothing. I mean, they just said no.
It's like, you can, because that's definitely either obstruction of justice or fleeing and eluding.
Yeah, well,
one of them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, they better start either make somebody an example, because Rick Perry just straight out said no.
Yeah, that nigga just said, fuck that, I ain't, nah.
Not only did he say no, he quit his fucking job.
It's like, you know what, I'm out. I'm not going to that, and I quit. Y'all hold it down.
GGPO, we out here.
Bruh.
Shit. So, I'm filing for my unemployment.
Right.
About to get these checks. Gotta get this food stamp money.
So, in the gaming realm,
moving on,
we have
need some chapstick.
Our former, I don't have any.
Nah, I just got it. It's like last night. I was fucking I was going to bed and my chapstick. You know how you always take chapstick all the way down to the bottom line. Yeah. That bitch fell out.
That's tough.
And I'm like, I usually buy 3, and it's like I can't find the other 2.
That's tragic.
Oh my god. So yeah,
get you some Burt's Bees,
with crusty lips.
Get you some Burt's Bees.
Nigga, I ain't about to. If I'm gonna lose some chapstick, it ain't gonna be for. I'm gonna lose some 90-cent chapstick. That bitch is gonna disappear.
That's fair.
I guarantee it's like cheap sunglasses.
But anyway, our former favorite company in the world that could do no wrong has kind of been in the highlight.
Well, that company for me is Nintendo,
in the reticle.
Yeah.
Nintendo ain't been that for me for years. We'll save that.
That's another podcast. Yeah, that's next week. Well, I don't know if we're doing next week because we got
we should be field trip, nigga. Yeah. I'm 28 on a fucking field trip. But yeah, we should be good for next week.
Okay,
because that's not to the end of the month.
Yeah, I will say this: Blizzard and character design, I love their character design.
For sure. They've always had
design has been so wonderful.
They've always had really good character design.
Yeah,
but they had Hearthstone Grand Finals, competitors finals. I want to say that's what they call it.
Yoink.
But a Chinese player, Blitzchung, ended up winning the event. This is gonna be real redacted because I don't want to spend hella time explaining the entire situation. But Blitzchung won, and on his Twitch stream he said "Free Hong Kong."
Mm-hmm.
So Blizzard, in all their infinite wisdom, says, hey, we're not going to give you the money that we're contractually obligated to pay you. Also, you're banned from competing in any of our events for a year.
Yeah.
They also fired the 2 casters for supporting him.
Right.
For saying that.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, which kind of led down this road of Blizzard more or less doubling down on it for a period and saying, hey, we can't have those types of political things, which We're coming back to that.
Yeah.
So keep that on your mind. So they said we can't have these types of political statements being, put forth under our banner.
Right.
And then once the community backlash really hit, they were like, okay, well, you know what? We'll pay you the money, but you're still going to be banned for 6 months. And the casters, they're still fired.
Yeah.
So we're just not going to do anything with the casters. And they were like, well, we'll give you a lighter sentence and we'll pay you. I'm like, well, nigga, first of all, he shouldn't have any sentence. And you should have paid this nigga before. Because I'm like, had he sued y'all for not honoring y'all's contract that both of y'all had to sign for him to compete in a tournament of this caliber,
right?
Y'all would have been paying that man way more than some prize money.
Oh, absolutely.
Way more.
Absolutely.
But back to the we don't want political statements.
No freedom of speech here.
I know. I think I can say with 100% certainty that if it was someone in the States that was speaking up for, trans or gay rights, not only would you have not done anything, you probably would have supported it.
You would have fucking sent out a little tweet saying like Blizzard supports.
Yeah,
right?
like
you'd have been turned like Tracer would have been carrying a fucking flag or something.
Just like you did some months ago when you changed your fucking logo on every website to the rainbow flag.
Yep.
Just like every corporation does for that 1 month.
Yep.
And that's, once again, another rabbit hole with that is, we have 2 characters in most countries that are homosexual.
Yes.
It's Tracer, Soldier 76.
Yes.
With Tracer, it kind of felt genuine. It was just like, oh, okay, well, you have a gay character.
That was established very
early on. With Soldier 76, it was more or less like, hey, we need another one because we're kind of under flack right now because we haven't really done anything major with our game.
Right.
By the way, 76 is gay.
I must now buy your game. You're so supportive.
And I'm just like, I mean, with me, because you and I have common fucking sense.
Yeah.
That don't fucking matter to me. I don't care. I like the character. I still like the character. I still play the character.
It's one of those things where I would always talk about, your fucking identification things, like what color you are, what's your orientation. These are what you are. They're not who you are. People make such a big deal over the fact of what they are more than who the fuck they are.
I'm like, being gay is not that's not a personality trait.
Exactly.
That's not even something that you get to decide, nigga.
Yeah, it's just like the color of your skin.
Okay, that's a thing. That's what color you are. That's your, I guess, your spectral definition.
It's gonna change what box you check on when you go and fill out your job. But at the end of the day, you're still gonna have to put down your skills.
Right. What you can do, or your hobbies, your interests, being black.
Being black
ain't a hobby. That's just what I am.
Shit, I done took this shit down a long time ago.
Bro, that's what the fuck I am, bro. Being.
Yeah, Sammy Sosa tried that shit.
Yeah, fuck that nigga.
Yeah, motherfucker hits home runs, all of a sudden he can go and take a Clorox bath.
It comes from a place and a culture surrounded by colorism, but still, fuck that shit.
Yeah,
but. So yeah, back to Blizzard. Tracer 76 are gay here and in Europe.
Not in China though.
In China, they are completely fucking straight.
Yes.
So this is something that we knew as adults anyway. Corporations only align their interests with marginalized groups when it matters, when it's profitable.
When it's profitable for their bottom line.
And I'm just like, y'all really see people's. Either I don't know whether to call it people's sexual identity or people's struggle, or rather, I'll say this: you only stand in solidarity with the out group when it matters to your pocket. Because I'm like, to make them gay literally everywhere else except for a handful of countries. 'Cause I'm pretty sure China's not the only one.
Well,
but
I'm
China's
sure
the major one.
If they sell it in the UAF or Arab nations,
yeah.
then, you know.
that shit ain't going. There's probably not even a story past the Omnic Crisis. Like all those comics we got, I'm pretty sure those are just for America, Canada, and Europe.
They literally throw gay people off of roofs. So
right.
No, if they fucking no.
But
matter of fact, are there any gay Tekken characters?
As of right now, I don't think so. But then again, we don't really, Tekken doesn't delve into the sexuality of that character.
The only reason why I say that is because that Pakistani player has been fucking tearing.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
about that.
Once again, like if there are, they haven't made it a point to make that a big thing.
Yeah, that's
which,
true.
Me.
I was just talking about Leo. Sorry, Leo's actually a girl. So.
Yeah, she's androgynous. They never said her sexuality.
Yeah, it's just like when you go to the costumes, you can go actually get all the fucking swim two pieces. So.
And I'm just like, to me, those are things that wouldn't change how I feel about the character, man. Like their sexuality, and I mean, unless it's absolutely necessary to tell a part of that character's story, then I really don't need to know it.
Yeah.
Because, like, even with Tracer, it's like, okay, well, Tracer has a girlfriend. All right, cool. She's a lesbian. Literally adds nothing to Tracer's overall story besides the fact that she has a girlfriend.
People put so much emphasis on it, though, like, as if it is necessary.
Yeah. And
that's the thing that always pisses me off about it, because it's the word necessary.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's cool.
It's cool. It's like seeing black characters in the game. When we saw Twin Tail, when we saw that new black character for Guilty Gear.
I was like, that's dope.
When Leroy
Smith. Yeah, I was like, that's fucking dope.
Yeah, but it's like if he was an old white guy, like that looked like Genfu from Dead or Alive, I'm still
probably would have fucking played him.
Yeah,
and like, there's a very fine line, I think, between representation matters and
representation or nothing at all.
Yeah,
to leave the hall.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's like because I don't know what your feelings about the Black Panther movie when it came out, but a lot of people were trying to talk about the importance of the Black Panther movie as far as like establishing some canon of a black superhero, which I always was like Static Shock and Blade.
Yeah, I mean we've had them before, but like, and this is just the outside looking in, because it's been a while since we've had a black hero in the spotlight, and it's also been a while. I take that back. I don't think it's ever happened where it was a majority black cast.
Yeah,
it was more. It wasn't a thing of, we need this so people can realize that we can act too thing. It was more or less like for the longest time, nobody in Hollywood's had faith that a majority black cast in any type of movie could be profitable enough to warrant accurate representation.
That's fair.
Like that's what I got from it. Because I mean, like, it's fucking, and once again, showing age, and these aren't real superheroes. Yeah. But you had Meteor Man back in the day.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
You had fucking Meteor Man. There was even Disney had like a live action movie as a black family of superheroes, but the son didn't have his powers. Don't remember what it was called.
I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't. If you know, leave it in the comments. But like, I don't remember what that shit's called. Like you said, there's Blade that had a black titular character.
I mean, we had Cyborg Cyborg's been black.
Yeah, Cyborg's been black since the fucking 70s.
Yeah, if you remember from the old you remember his old design from like the fucking Super Friends?
Yeah.
That was rough.
That shit was tragic.
Yeah.
But, like, so the representation's been there. It was more or less just, a lot of people, it was like, oh, well, if we make a majority black cast, the only people that would really go see it would be black people, and it's not going. Which is the case.
Well, I mean, it's the case, but it's like, why would that be a problem?
Right? Why would
we spend money on media?
Exactly.
Like a hell of a lot.
People like seeing themselves represented on screen, man. I mean, it's real simple. Like,
right.
it doesn't. You don't have to politicize that, and I don't think, asking for more characters that you can identify with being shown in a positive light is
necessarily
right. It's basically politicizing it or trying to be a SJW.
Right.
Like every time, like with video games, man. Every time I boot up an adventure game, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be some mid-30s white dude with a perfect jawline and 5 o'clock shadow.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
I'm fine with that. Like it could because I play the game for the fucking game.
Right.
But like on the flip side, if that character was a black character, I wouldn't be like, oh man, I'm gonna buy this just because he's black.
Exactly.
Like if I like the gameplay, I'm gonna get it for the gameplay.
Right.
The fact that the character's black, I'm like, oh
it's
man,
inconsequential.
Right. Like
that's
neat.
Yeah. See, that's what always bothered me about the advertising. I guess we're getting off.
Yeah.
We'll go back, but we'll go after this. I guess that's what really bothered me about the advertising for it. Excuse me. And I guess I can tie this back in because, like, when they go and promote movies on television, they have a script. They have a certain narrative, a certain thing that they are trying to push when they go and advertise these things out. And for me, I think the biggest drawback I felt was that they weren't pushing the story. They weren't pushing the cinematics. They were pushing the fact that it was an all-black cast and all this, that, and the third, which, fine. If that's what the narrative you want to do, if you think that's what's going to put more butts in seats, okay. But at the end of the day, I can't help but notice the fact that the people who own Disney are not us.
Yeah.
And so that's where the money's going to be going to.
That's factual.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of hard to to not have it seen as pushing it in that lane.
Yeah.
I mean, because the cast is majority black. So I mean, in the trailers, you don't see a bunch of black folks. Like, you knew who the main villain was. Like with the trailer, you knew who the main villain was. You kind of had a sense for the plot.
Yeah.
It was his first solo outing as well. So I mean, I guess I could kind of understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would have been hard to push it any other way basically just because the majority of the cast is black characters. So I mean, they're gonna take up the most screen time. I think a lot of people took it and ran with, I'm gonna go see it because it's an all black or majority black superhero movie.
Yeah.
So that might have been, the thing that was just in the air the longest. But like, I didn't get that from the trailers.
Well, that's because I worked at the theater when it was out.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
I'm walking around watching the flocks of the shikis.
Yeah.
With fucking Korean at the Korean store that they bought. Like they can't find Africa on the map. But
it's crazy. Like the shit that. And I swear we're getting back to Blizzard, but like
we'll tie it back in.
But like the shit that niggas do that they don't even realize that they do.
Yeah.
Like, and I honestly think if we as a people would learn to like stop associating certain behaviors with certain archetypes of life, we'd be fucking unstoppable, man. Because I'm like, y'all went out there and bought dashikis, did paint, costumes, nigga, y'all are cosplaying.
Yeah.
Do you realize, like, if you actually put this much effort on a consistent basis, you would see a lot more people that look like you at these conventions.
Yeah.
Or in these magazines, or just doing general nerdy shit.
Yeah.
Like, same thing like when niggas don't have any swishers to roll up, bro. Like, niggas become engineers to get high.
Yeah.
Like, just
pipe out of aluminum foil and crap and shit.
Right, like same thing if like niggas didn't associate shit like gymnastics or nail paint or hell even eyeliner with femininity or being gay. Like men did this shit hundreds of years ago with no consequence.
That's another one. We should probably just get back to Blizzard.
Yeah, it's just like we can save that too.
Well, it's connected in the sense that fucking corporate interests, they push narratives.
Yeah,
and when that narrative is not convenient for that corporation, they don't want it.
They disavow it.
And especially when you make games and your biggest market is over there, and you know that in order to actually get it over there in China, they had to make backdoor deals with the government.
Of course.
They had to do something like that. That's the only way they could get their game in there, which is why they couldn't play Ghostbusters over there, if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
Because the government said it was witchcraft, so they wouldn't let them play Ghostbusters. So it's like Blizzard has a fucking they have a dog in this race. LeBron has a dog in this race, which is why he opened up his big fat mouth and put his foot in it, talking about the shit that he did.
I was like, look, man, if you don't feel comfortable talking about, you know, some shit that's going on, or if you just aren't informed enough to talk about some shit going on, it's okay to say that you don't have a comment on it.
But all Daryl Morey said was like fucking he supports Hong Kong to be free. He supports the people to be free.
Exactly.
And LeBron's
and
like,
leave it at that.
He's uninformed about the topic. Nigga, he wants the people to be free. What else do you need to know?
Right, I was about to say, oh shit, somebody's government is actually actively, openly oppressing its people.
And has been for
years.
and fucking, I want those people to be free. You should not say that.
You shouldn't.
My
say
shoe
that.
factory. I mean, my heart is here in America.
I mean, you were one of them niggas. You was in the house.
Yeah, I mean,
he was in the house. Like, why would you want that for somebody else?
I mean, it's just so fucking painful to watch because Blizzard is tripping over themselves.
They've been
trying to fix.
They've been doing it for years, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You had a theory about Activision, right? You wanted them to get out.
Yeah, like I said it. I said that they were doing all this shit so that, you know, people can come down on Activision, because Blizzard is one of the few companies that's still owned by Activision.
Yeah.
In large. And that was my original theory. I was like, bro, Blizzard's been a company since like what, the early 90s.
Yes.
They never had shit go down like this until all this other shit started, until they got under Activision. That was really like when all this shit started hitting the fan.
Right.
Because I was like, Blizzard, they stayed low key, bro. They made Warcraft, Diablo, and StarCraft. Mm-hmm. And then they made Hearthstone, Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, you know, the other shit.
Yeah.
The other shit like that. But they really have not had this many like social flubs since they got under Activision.
Just back to back, boy.
And it's I 100% believe that that's largely due to Activision. 100%. Because like I said, like I never saw Blizzard in a negative light or saw too much, you know, warranted negative press about Blizzard when they were making Diablo 2.
Yeah.
Or like when all the Warcraft expansions were coming out, because people were just focused on the games.
Yeah, yeah.
And as soon as they partnered with Activision,
it's
just fuck that. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, and that very well could be the case, actually, when you think about it, just because of the overreach that corporations like to have on these companies, and make sure they don't step out of line for whatever it is that they're doing. But either way, if you want a guideline on how to not handle these situations, you can just watch right at Blizzard.
Just watch Blizzard, man.
Boy, they have just shit the bed.
Honestly, I'd say watch Blizzard or Twitch.
Yeah,
on how to not handle pressure.
Yeah, like and it's just the stupidest thing to me, because it's like there are people over there. First of all, they co-opted May, which I fucking love from Overwatch. Yeah. They co-opted her to make her a symbol of fucking to get the people free. So I love that. Which, you know, those folks are either at Activision or Blizzard. They ain't gonna like that shit. But whatever.
She's Chinese.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where you kind of look at it and go, why not?
Right.
Why not? I mean, even if you want to say you don't want to get political about it, all you have to do is just let the guy fucking move on.
Yeah.
He wants his people to be free, just like everyone else wants to see his people free. And for once in the entire history of, they've had plenty of rebellions before in Chinese history, but in this current age of communist China, as its overarching history, the people are pissed and they're actually doing something about it.
Yep. All I'm gonna say is take notes.
Oh shit, yeah.
That's all. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say to you. Take notes.
Yeah. Pay attention.
Cause like it's hectic now. People getting arrested left and right with the threat of death from their government.
Right.
But they know for a fact that the regular citizens far outnumber the law enforcement, the military, and the people in power. It don't matter how many of them you can, unless you can.
You ain't gonna have enough space in no jail.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not gonna have enough jail space to imprison everybody.
So that's where it's gonna go to its next heinous step: public execution.
Yeah, I was like, so it's either gonna be public execution, or y'all are gonna go back to the 30s when y'all were basically under Japanese tyranny.
Yeah,
and you're gonna cause a fucking socio-economic collapse.
Yeah,
which essentially, will let the people take over the way they need to fucking take over.
Well, and see, that's the thing. It's like, if you look at how things are going, because we have, I forget where our debt is right now.
It's a trillion.
Yeah, but it's in an unpayable spot. We kick the can down the road. So collapse is happening. It's just a matter of time. That's the reason why I was like, fucking, on one hand, I was glad that, Trump gets elected so that we can go ahead and hurry up and let's get the shit over with. Like, that's why I'm voting for the next person. I'm voting for that has the worst fiscal policy. Let's just go ahead and get this shit over with. Let's just go ahead, because the sooner we get it, we go ahead and get the collapse on and go through that heavy shit, the sooner we can rebuild.
Yeah, the sooner we get shit right.
Oh yeah. So like, because what's gonna happen is like people are just gonna default on the debts. They're gonna come in and say, okay, we own this, we own that, we own this, we own that. So
that's basically the Chinese money trap, man.
Exactly.
It's like, you know what? We'll give you, like $50 million to build, your ports. It's the same thing that happened like in certain Middle Eastern countries. Sorry. Like, it's like, you know what? We'll give you $50 million to build these ports. What we'll do is charge crazy interest, and then when the debt gets so unpayable, we won't take, repayment. We'll just be like, okay, well, give us 5 out of these 10 ports that you use, and you can just pay us back for the other 5. So now you have their product coming into your country basically for free, because they own the ports, and then they basically have to create jobs for those people. So now you have them living and working in that country.
Yes,
and it's I wish there was a cooler word for it. But that's basically what it's Chinese money trap. That's essentially what it is.
Yep.
And that's kind of how debt works here. It's like, you know what, we'll give you this. Oh, you can't pay it back? Cool, we'll just take what we gave you.
Yeah.
Like, so basically now it's not a loan anymore, it's an investment.
Yes.
So like, we give you $50 million, you're a poor developing country, you can only pay us back 25. All right, cool. Well, we'll just take the 25 and now we own those ports.
Yeah.
So we essentially didn't lose $50 million. We spent $25 million to get our shit into your country.
Yeah.
But that's
game.
That's right. I was about to say, nigga, that's just game.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean that's the short of it. Like, you don't actually own it. That's the whole reason with almost like credit card debt in a way.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't actually own this shit. You just on loan for the credit card company.
It's a loan until you pay it back. Like, credit cards are basically just fucking loans.
Yeah.
But
so, like, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Basically. So,
and I will never understand the people that are against Hong Kong's liberation, especially over here. I'm like, first of all, y'all love to say like that shit ain't got nothing to do with us. Why the fuck y'all so concerned about China now?
Motherfuckers always be wearing shirts talking about Spirit of 1776. Right. So I don't want to fucking hear it.
Second of all, y'all love saying to, Syrian refugees, Mexican refugees, hey, if it's something that you're wrong in your country, go back and fix it.
Yeah.
And then when they try to do it, y'all want to hit them with the no, not like that. Nah, man.
Yeah, no.
Look, you're either for the freedom of everybody, or you're not for freedom.
That was MLK. It's like, until we're all free, none of us are free.
Right. And I was just like, what? Like, they aren't protesting for no fucking reason. Their government literally told its people, you're playing with fire, protesting against us. And they still went through with it.
Yeah.
Like, I love to see it.
Oh, absolutely.
I love to see that
this
shit.
Is a monumental, like, this is like a human history moment.
Yeah,
like,
it's a turning point.
Yeah, this is like a watershed moment in human history because for the longest time, they just didn't do it. They would be like, I mean, they would fucking have to like go and do church in secret or some shit, like because they had persecuted Christians, and it's like they fucked up when they started giving them a little more freedom. Like, as soon as they gave them some access to internet, and they got access to VPNs, they could come over to America and see what the fuck we got going on.
Man, shit really different. And I hate that, like, they have this idea of what America is.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of understand because y'all are foreigners, y'all don't know what's going on over here for the most part.
Right.
But, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, once they actually achieve liberation, which I think they will, it might take a long time, but if they keep the pressure up,
so it ain't gonna be
because
quick.
if they start committing human atrocities over there, now, but as like a little side note, if they start committing human atrocities, I think governments will start to intervene. However, I think that we're going to get like the LeBron response from some countries that have a lot of Chinese interests. Yeah. They're going to be like, no, we shouldn't interfere. We're busy over here in Syria.
It's like let them figure that out.
Yeah, no, but in all seriousness, like if they go through with this, like they're gonna start seeing, like, because freedom is like hard to get, it's harder to keep. That's just a general rule. Yeah. That's the reason why America is in the place that it's in now. Yep. We got our freedom, but then it's like not for everybody. Yeah. Black folks, Chinese, Irish, Polish, just throughout history, Jewish, all kinds of people have experienced some level of misdirected freedom or just freedom light.
It's like, like backhanded freedom.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? We won't keep you as slaves, but we're also not going to let you work or go to school or live where we do. We're also going to shaft your opportunities.
Yeah, by the way, our cotton still needs picking. Yeah. We can just have you live on the farm here. You won't be enslaved. Right. There's this new word, indentured.
Indentured servitude.
It's sweeping the nation. But, I guess that's where we're at.
So I really hope Blizzard gets its shit together, because it's one of those things, like the puppy that you had when you were a kid and you realize it's getting a little bit harder to stand up. Yeah. It can't play as much as it used to.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, y'all, and it's reflected in their games, man. Like, just the state that the company's in, because Overwatch hasn't had anything major happen to the game outside of new heroes.
Yeah,
and while that's cool because y'all don't charge
and
for
their
it,
little custom thing, right? Can't you now like design your own matches or something like that? Like,
that's been creative. There for years.
Yeah, has it?
Yeah, it's been there for like 2 years.
Like I said,
I understand.
I don't play Overwatch. I just like their character designs and their comics and like the lore. But the lore is really cool.
But like, even with shit like Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, like it's like just the state of the company is reflected through the work they put out.
Yeah.
Overwatch doesn't have anything major or game changing going on except for when they add a hero every 4 to 5 months.
Yeah.
No Hearthstone.
New matches, no new. Do they? I mean, I guess they add new stages. Maybe?
Yeah, there's new maps. Usually, like a couple of weeks after they add a new hero, or a couple of weeks before, rather. Sorry.
Oh, and costumes. They throw
and cosmetics.
Yeah, cosmetics. So basically, surface level, much like Blizzard's support of things.
Which is, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I'm like, after 3 years, I'd honestly either, expect some type of major event, or maybe like a sequel announcement, or maybe even a fucking spinoff.
I've always argued they should have done a story mode, in-game story mode.
Like a story mode.
You have the characters, dude.
Because you've had, and honestly, I can't even remember what the last big Overwatch event was, because they had their Uprising event, which was the Omnic Uprising in England.
Right.
There was one that took place in Italy with Blackwatch. But like these are bits and pieces of the story that are essentially pick these characters, go kill some enemies, you beat the story, you beat the event. You know, it's not like, and I can't hold it to the same standard as like Battle Royale games because they aren't Battle Royale games, but Apex right now has a whole Halloween event where it's a completely different mode from the standard BR.
Really?
Like, you drop in, you pick your legend, you drop in, if you die, you get turned into a shadow, which is basically an enhanced Revenant version of your character, and then you have to go hunt down the other legends with no weapons. It's just you have enhanced abilities and it's all melee attacks. So it's something different. You know, it's not just, hey, here's a mode where you can only use this one type of gun.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do that for 3 months.
Right.
Or a month and a half. You know? And that's essentially what all of Overwatch's events are. It's just, hey, here's some enemies, go kill them, boom, you got the thing.
Yay! I went to Overwatch's main website for news.
Yep.
And
sorry, also, Heroes of the Storm is basically dead in the water, by the way, because people aren't going to leave League, and Arena of Valor is mobile.
Oh, yeah.
So that's...
Oh, and League is coming out with a fighting game. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
That's enough of that. Okay, so, yeah, there's no, like, events coming up here. Like, they have an announcement for BlizzCon 2019, but that was put on October the 1st.
Yeah, that's just probably... I'm really interested to see how the fuck BlizzCon goes this year.
I want to see how the fucking... Because there's going to be some showing out.
I almost want to buy a last minute ticket and go, just so I could like cover it, but
oh, that would be a great like the Black Plague on the road,
bruh.
Spreading.
If we get a 2020, I might go to 2020 just to see the difference in turnout.
If we get a 2020, if they don't just burn the whole shit down because people are supporting Chinese liberation.
I'm like, man, y'all.
The audacity.
Y'all have dropped the ball, and this close to the fucking convention too, dude. Like, it's wild.
Overwatch on Nintendo Switch launch protocol.
Yeah, it's running poorly, and Nintendo. Now, get this. Mm-hmm. Nintendo is offering a full refund for Overwatch. When Nintendo don't fuck with you, most people don't fuck with you. I'm like, Nintendo doesn't even offer full refunds for their goddamn games.
They in their defense, they did recently for. Have you heard about? They're porting Tokyo Mirage Sessions from the Wii U. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be internationally. Mm-hmm. They're using the Western release, which is the censored version.
Ew.
Yeah, they're selling that version over in Japan, even though they had the uncensored version when they originally released. But they never articulated that.
That's
so people were putting their pre-orders in, but then they found out, wait a minute, this is the Western release? We don't want that shit.
Yeah, we don't want that.
And so they're offering full-ass refunds for people who put in pre-orders. Like, nobody wants no censored version. I can't stand this fucking, like...
I can't believe that we're on censorship, man. Like...
well, I guess technically that's what Blizzard's doing, so it's related. That's all they're doing. They're trying to censor things to watch out for their bottom line. That's what Nintendo does. That's the reason why you can't have somebody showing cleavage, for God's sake.
But you have Bayonetta as an exclusive title. It's weird, man. Like, just the blatant... I don't know if it's oversight or pure hypocrisy at this point, but I'm like, yeah, we don't want to have, over-sexualized characters. Nigga, have you played Xenoblade Chronicles 2? Bayonetta is an exclusive game, and like, I cannot think of a more thotty game or character that's on your console.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so where's the outlier? What's too much and what's considered, and what's it just enough to still be considered art?
I don't think that they've thought about it from that perspective. I think they think about it from the perspective, how far can we push it before we know that we'll get like censored or this might affect sales. And with the current climate where there are people who actually go out and actively bitch Like when we were talking about the Persona 5 character, the big girl.
Yeah.
People were complaining about that she had some skin showing.
Fucking gymnast. How dare she wear a gymnast outfit?
And so, I mean, like, this is kind of, on one hand, I think, like, you know, guys grow a pair, but at the same time, I can't help but, you know, sympathize with them on some level, because there are people out there that are being pussies about this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that you just go, boy, I miss the old days when you could just release Dead or Alive and you didn't have to worry about people whining and complaining because Tomonobu Itagaki would just tell them to fuck off.
Well, you didn't have to see it, because I'm pretty sure there were people out there. But like that's why I like Harada so much, man. Like that man's real. Like Harada _Tekken on Twitter, like people's like, why? Like some lady asked him, like, because they were talking to him and Okubo, who made Soul Calibur 6, like, why is Ivy so sexualized? And Okubo's like, look, if that bothers you, don't buy the game.
Yeah, he just straight told you.
Right, it's like, I'm not finna change, you know,
a
long-standing character.
And a design that people actually like.
Right. Like,
you know, and by God, they might actually like it because she's sexy.
Yeah. I was like, how dare a woman not be ashamed of her body? And I've always said this, like, third wave feminists body shame women a lot more than misogynistic men do. A lot more.
Like, all you have to do is look at the body positive forums on, like, Instagram. If you find some fat girl who talks about beauty at every size, when a skinny girl says something along the same lines, they hop on and pounce. Like, it's actually kind of crazy.
Because it's dumb. At telling somebody that they need to lose like 20 or 30 pounds is to me is the equivalent of telling a skinny person, damn, bro, you should probably eat more. Like, maybe they like their fucking body type.
Maybe it depends.
Maybe they're comfortable with that shit.
I will say that if you're coming at it from a health perspective, if you're morbidly obese, you're unhealthy. You can still be cute, fine. Yeah. So, but losing weight is literally going to be better for you.
Yeah, period. That's fact.
So, but it's like, if you're saying they're fat and they're ugly, you know, that's not, maybe to you, but to somebody else, they're fucking, like, you know, I've seen their fucking OnlyFans. They have people. And people seem to think that fat and ugly are interchangeable words. Yeah.
Like, because like, there's a couple of women that be like, that, you know, a couple of bigger girls that'll be like, you'll post a selfie talking about fat and proud, and then there's always at least one person that's like, oh my god, you're so brave.
Ugh.
For what?
She ate a pizza, dog. Like you can do that right now.
Brave for what?
She ate a whole pizza. She doesn't exercise, and she still wore a swimsuit. Like, congratulations, that's good, fantastic.
And we might just have to do like a whole nother podcast on that shit, but like,
reality check stream
with you know, the skinny or the fit crowd.
Yeah.
And I want to end it with this though. Like, the skinny / fit crowd absolutely abhors seeing fat people that are happy. Why? Because it invalidates your ROI on your exercise. So with you know, like person A, super fit person, your happiness was found when you started working out and got your body type.
Yeah.
Your happiness is rooted in that you have. And when somebody doesn't have that and still has the same level of happiness or higher than yours, now all that effort to you was wasted. That's why there's so many, like when Nike ran that fucking ad with the plus size mannequin that had on workout gear.
Yeah.
And there were so many people up in arms about that shit. I'm like, so now that fat people want to work out and wear shit that fits them, now somehow them having clothes that fit them is promoting obesity.
Yeah, that was stupid, because like, that's literally, if you are someone who promotes like healthy lifestyles and a healthy body weight, then you should be wanting that, because now people have one less excuse to not fucking go to the gym.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, on one hand, it's like the context of the individual comment matters. Because if somebody is pointing out the fact that you're unhealthy, and that is equated to your morbid obesity or your obesity and your body weight, then that's not shaming. That's pointing out facts.
There are people
who who, like you said, are out there who view skinny equals pretty. You know, they make these connections in their mind,
right?
And they've established that in their head. Maybe it was something that was established through media, through culture, through family, through nurture, whatever the fuck. And they worked themselves out, and they got themselves in a nice, healthy shape, and they feel so they're beautiful. That's cool too. Believe it or not, people feel so sometimes that's not good enough. Then you get into the anorexic.
Yeah.
Then you get into those that feel like they can't eat at all.
Yeah.
Or then you have, like, when I was going through therapy, there were some girls that were in there who used exercise as punishment because they ate something and they felt guilty, so they would go out to the gym and they would run extra. They would push it. As a matter of fact, one of the meetings I went to, there was an older lady who was doing that shit. She's in great shape for her age. She was like fucking 70 something, and she's still out there exercising. But it was because she used exercise as a way to punish herself. So there's a lot of nuance here.
Right.
But when we're talking simply about what you find beautiful, the phrase "beauty is in the eye of the beholder" is there for a reason.
It's subjective, man.
It is subjective. We're not talking about healthy. We're talking about pretty. So that's going to be two totally different conversations.
Right.
When you conflate the two, you have a problem.
Right. You also can't, like, I don't get this mentality of morbidly obese people know that they're morbidly obese. They don't need strangers on the internet telling them, "Hey, you fat as fuck." Like, that's just something that they don't need clarification for. They know that shit. Like, just like I wake up in the morning, you ain't got to tell me, "Hey, bro, you 6'2", you got a dick, you're black, you have hair." Those are things that I don't need to hear from people that I don't fucking know.
Yeah, see, that's where the whole public figure thing, I think, comes in, because there are a lot of fat models now. Like, they're becoming
should be.
Well, they're coming out more and more. But guess what? You get comments. You want to be a public figure?
Yeah.
You get the negative and the positive. For everyone that comes up and says that you're so brave, you're going to get someone saying you're fucking fat.
Yeah.
That's just reality.
It comes with the fucking territory.
So when they release like fucking videos or like posts talking about how fucking I don't give a fuck about your beauty standards and shit, I'm like, nigga, I don't care what somebody says fucking on your fucking Instagram, and you shouldn't either. you should be the last person giving a fuck, because you're out here still making the money, B.
Right, I was about to say, like, if you're in the bag, it really don't fucking matter. But, like, there's just, for the longest time, there's just been this overarching culture of fat equals ugly.
Yeah.
For the longest fucking time. And just like people that still use gay when they mean something is bad or unfortunate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like that. It's like both of those are still in that same lane, and I'm just like, bro, these people. I don't know if you knew, but these people exist.
Right.
They aren't just some shit that, you know, people have made up to talk about to have an arguing point.
Yeah.
Like, fat people exist. They can be pretty. Gay people exist. Period.
Yeah.
Like, these are things that are there regardless of how you feel about them or whether or not you choose to acknowledge their existence. That shit doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, so them being out, being happy, doing the shit that they want to fucking do, nigga, that's just 101.
I mean, that's just life.
Right.
I mean, some folks are bigger than others. They made a different lifestyle choice. Here's the deal. Like, that's what they wanted to fucking do. They wanted to eat the whole pizza. They ate the whole pizza. You didn't.
Like,
you're healthier. She made, and she's fatter.
What you shit? What you eat don't make me shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I haven't said that in years, but I love it.
But like, bro, it's just that don't fucking matter to me.
Yeah.
Like, what somebody else, as long as they ain't out here hurting nobody, what somebody else does with their life is none of my fucking concern.
That is literally,
like,
if everyone would just adopt and act on that mentality, we'd make so much progress.
Because I have plenty of people, acquaintances and friends that I know are over 300 pounds. And I don't feel, I've never once felt the need to be like, hey, bro, you should probably lose some weight. That ain't my fucking play. If that nigga want to lose weight, he gonna lose the weight. That ain't my place to tell him what I think he should do with his time or his fucking life.
And see, and that I think rolls over into another issue that I have with the internet, is that the anonymity. gives you that
power.
It emboldens you to say things that you wouldn't say to somebody's face in real life.
No, fuck no. Fuck no.
That's why there's like videos of like fat girls. There was this fat girl who got on a fucking plane, and she had to sit by some skinny guy. And the skinny guy was tweeting his buddy about the fact that he was sitting next to this fat girl, and she checked him because she saw it. And she checked him on the stage, on the plane, and recorded his reaction, like right there on the spot.
That's what you gotta do, man.
Like,
let these niggas know.
Yeah, so it's just like, because he was just like, oh man, I was just talking to my friend, he got all nervous and shit. It's like, see,
like the age, the age of the internet, man. Like,
man.
That's an old proverb, bro. The mask hides the face and frees the soul. Like,
that means like some persona shit. Like,
basically,
fucking like you used to have to go into like underground cellars to talk about how you would like to be with like a young underage person. Now there are fucking just groups.
There are groups.
Like fucking like if you want to meet people like yourself, all you gotta do is just log on to the right website.
And not even like the funny thing is not even private groups.
No,
like
they're so emboldened they don't even give a fuck about
you niggas just don't care.
Y'all just was like out here, huh?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's fucking. I mean, it's like, so everyone who's questioning themselves about starting something, you gotta remember there are groups out there that talk about openly fucking boys, little boys in the ass. So you can do it. Put your mind to it.
Relax.
Yeah.
Relax, nigga.
There's some crazy shit out there, buddy.
Yes, it's fucking wild.
It is fucking wild.
That's gonna do it for week 20, man.
Yeah, man, it's fall. It's 60 degrees outside.
It's fall. I would go enjoy it, but it's goddamn raining right now. I'll probably order some Waiter, play some games.
Oh, you use Waiter?
Yeah, Waiter, Grubhub. Actually, like that reminds, I got a $10 gift certificate. I'm gonna use Grubhub. Shouts out to Grubhub, sponsor me. I'm a Twitch affiliate now.
Sponsor me because I like to eat.
Big facts.
Yeah,
like
so
fat gang.
Yeah, fat gang. Bang, bang.
We out here squad shit. But we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, when we'll be talking about the
stuff.
The other stuff. We'll do an actual gaming stream.
We'll talk about stuff.
Yeah, that's what we usually do. Stuff crust pizza.
Stuff and things.
I figured out how to make one now. So
I want some.
Yeah, you gotta fucking roll the crust first, and then bake that, and then put the toppings on it, and then put it back in the oven. That's how you actually get it done.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a quiche today. So
okay,
fuck it.
Healthy nigga.
Oh shit, I'm putting bacon in it.
Good man.